Hello, this is Rick with Sports with Rick. Today we're going to talk about the baseball playoffs and my opinions of how it's going with the playoffs and the new wild card, the way they're doing the wild card for baseball. I think it's pretty good. It keeps some teams still in play. Right now, this is September. The wild card situation is looking pretty set. It looks like the Mets or Braves going to win the division, and then it's going to be St. Louis in the third slot, with, of course, the Dodgers, who don't lose games at all. And then it looks like the Phillies. This is National League. It looks like the Phillies and the Padres finally are playing some good baseball. And the Braves or Mets with the other wild card. So it'll look like, of course, either the Braves or Mets and the Dodgers will get the bye. And then it looks like after that, the last two wild card teams play each other. The first two wild card teams play each other. So it looks like the Phillies might get the second wild card. So looks like whoever will be playing the Phillies, and it can change in the next couple weeks. But that means the lowest ranked will play the lowest ranked will play the first lowest wild card. So either the Braves or Mets and the Dodgers are getting the bye. So it's very important, for my Atlanta Braves to get that bye. Otherwise, they're going to be playing in a playoff, situation where it's like 3 games, I think it is. And so it's vying for that first place win of the division. That's pretty important. I don't know if you guys watch baseball a lot, and in the American League, I like, the Houston Astros are going to do really well. It's going to be hard to beat them. Even the Yankees, who's had a tremendous season, they're not playing as good as baseball right now. So Houston has just played good baseball all through the year. Cleveland, I don't know how far they can go. So the American League, I think, is, I don't know, between the Houston Astros and Yankees probably getting in there. But the National League is wide open. I'm saying there's 3 or 4 really good teams, and if Philadelphia gets hot, they could cause problems. I don't San Diego, even with the great trade they made, and people say, was that a good trade? Well, yeah, if you get one of the best players in baseball, and yeah, he's having an off year, but it's hard to adjust to a brand new team and all that pressure on you. But when next year, they're going to be really good because he's had a full year with them. So I think that's going to make a big difference. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the playoffs. It should be exciting. The only thing that baseball just doesn't understand is by adding these teams and not starting your season a little earlier, or cutting down playoff games, you're getting into late November. I mean, some of these places that don't have domes, it's going to be pretty cold. Now, luckily, you get the Dodgers and if San Diego and I guess the Braves and the Dodgers, you get at least some warm climate. But you get New York in there, and it's going to be cold in November, and yes, it does hamper baseball. It does. It's hard to play in 30 degrees in baseball. It's great for football, but it's not great for baseball. So I wish they would think about that a little bit more. Quit putting the season so long that it makes it in the bad part of the year. So, like I say, I think the playoffs is going to be really good this year. There's some really excitement going on in the baseball with Judge and going for 61 or 62 home runs. Albert Pujols is making a big run for 700, which is, I think, exciting, and I hope he does it. I mean, you'd feel really bad for him if he calls it a career and he gets 699. You know, right now he's 698. If he got to 699 and then he doesn't make it and doesn't get in the playoffs, so he lacks of 700, you know, you just say, man, maybe you could come back for a few games next year. Yeah, you know, instead of just retiring. I don't know what he would think, but 700 is a big number. There's just a few players with 700 home runs. And I think that's a big milestone. He's trying to sidestep it now and say, oh, it's not that important to him. He says it's to the fans right now. But in truth, I would think that really he would go down in history, you know, getting that 700. So you just don't see that. Just like they were talking about 3,000 hits is probably a thing of the past because there's no players that can play that amount of games, because now players don't have to play full games. They get taken out. They get setting down for anything, you know, minor injuries that they usually used to play through. So baseball's changed in that aspect. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is the change of rules for next year, where no more shifting. You have to have 2 players on the left side of the field and 2 players on the right side of the infield. I think that brings the excitement back to baseball. No more of this, you know, guy playing like slow pitch where you have 10 people out in the field, you know, like where that player can go out there in the outfield. You got 4 outfielders basically, and 3 infielders on one side of the field, and here's this open space. And I've always wondered why professional players put pride over base hits, where they could just bunt on that side and get on, and it would have went away naturally. If the players would have just used that to their advantage and bunted or hit the ball with a half swing to the place where there's no fielders, trust me, they would quit playing that. But no, these guys are stubborn, making millions of dollars whether they bat 300 or 140. It's just that occasional home run that wins games. That's what they're looking for. Well, I'm glad to see the shift go away, make these guys hit, make the pitchers throw to them, and also the speed up of the pitchers and the batters. They got to pitch within so many seconds and everything like that. I think that's a good rule. I think it will speed up baseball because I'm a tremendous baseball fan. I watch a lot of baseball, all sorts of different teams. Who's ever in the race, I'm watching their baseball because it makes me know how they're doing, what they're going to look like in the playoffs and things like that. So I watch a lot of baseball, even if it's not the Braves. I watch the Mets, and I watch the Padres, and I watch the Dodgers just to see how good they are. And I also watch some American League Baseball. I watch the Astros as much as I can, and the Yankees when they were hot, you know, because they had such a good lineup at that time, and watching Judge is just fun. But anyway, with the new rules, it's going to speed up baseball. So I don't have to spend 4.5 hours watching baseball. I can spend maybe 2.5, 3. And that's a faster pace, and I will enjoy baseball a little bit more. And plus, when you're going to the stadium, you don't have to stay 4.5 hours to see a 1-0 game. I mean, excuse me, the pitchers take forever. I think it means the end of a career for Hanley Jensen. He's just too slow. He can never keep up that pace. They already steal bases on him if you get to first, you might as well just send them to second, because Henley Jensen has such a slow delivery. Anybody can run on him. So it will change a lot of things about baseball, but I think it's all for good. But like I said, you didn't have to make these changes if they just would have played by the rules and used the rules to their advantage. So it's a good thing, and it's also, for purists, I guess it's a bad thing. But baseball has to evolve, to get people to watch it again. And it's, with these races, it's getting people to the park. So hopefully they don't do anything to screw up what they finally promoted again. So next year should be fun too. So that's basically all I got about baseball today. Thank you for watching Sports with Rick. Like I said, it's my opinion. If you have different opinions, let me know. Write theboytlife@gmail.com, or just comment on this YouTube, and keep watching my channel, and I'm going to be talking about all different types of sports. Volleyball, ladies volleyball. The good thing about Nebraska right now is women's volleyball. The basketball program is not very good. The football problems, you can see in the news all the time how we're struggling. But Nebraska volleyball is a big bright spot for Nebraska. So we'll also talk about bowling. That used to be my profession. I spent a lot of years in that industry. So yes, I will talk about bowling. So thank you for watching. We'll see you down the line. Thanks. Bye.